won't stop till I wear the crown.
Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Don't Be Average. In this video, we are going to see what is text classification, what is behind the methods of text classification, and how you can do it using Python or any other language. What exactly is text classification? Well, imagine if you have a bunch of text, like it could be customer reviews, or it could be your email texts, it could be anything else which is in text form, and what you want to do is you want to automatically sort them, or you want to automatically categorize them into different categories. So let's say you can categorize the customer reviews into positive and negative reviews, and let's say if you want to categorize your emails into spam or non-spam emails, those are the tasks that are tagged as text classification. Text classification has a variety of use cases these days. That is why it is so much popular. You can do sentiment analysis using text classification, which is nothing but analyzing customer reviews, their sentiments, are they satisfied or not satisfied on an e-commerce website. Or you can do spam filtering. You can automatically categorize your emails or messages as spam or non-spam. You can do topic categorization, which is basically organizing your text documents without reading them, automatically organizing them into different topics or themes. And then you can also do language identification using text classification. Basically, it will determine the language of a given text without you reading it. So you're basically setting up a model which will identify which language this text belongs to. Then you can also do intent detection, which is very important. So you can recognize the purpose or the intent behind a certain text. So all these automated models can be set up using the mechanism of text classification, which are very useful nowadays. Text classification is like the backbone of many applications. It helps in spam filtering, like I said. Sentiment analysis helps in social media analysis, and even organizing your emails automatically. That is also helpful for you. So these are basically saving our time, increasing our efficiency, automating a lot of stuff. It is helping us doing things while we are actually not doing it. We are setting up a model for doing it. So it's like having a virtual assistant. It's like having a bot that can understand and categorize things on its own. Now let's talk about the magic behind it. In the inside, text classification involves teaching a computer to recognize patterns in text in a very simple manner. So you feed it examples of text with labels like positive label, negative label. You feed it some comments, you feed it some customer reviews, and also label them as positive and negative. Then when a new review comes, it already knows how to tag it. So it's basically learning from the label data that you are feeding into it. Now, if we talk about the key steps in text classification in a very simple manner, the step one is you have to gather your data. So you need examples of texts with their labels, the labels in which you have to categorize it. So in case of email filtering, you need some examples of emails which are spam, and you also need some other examples of emails which are not spam. So this kind of data you need to first gather if you want to identify or classify an email as spam or not spam. Then the step 2 is you have to pre-process the text, because text data as it is cannot be fed into a mathematical model. So you have to pre-process it. You have to also clean it. You have to remove the unnecessary stuff from it. There could be stop words, there could be special characters which are not required and which can also introduce error into the model. Then the step 3 is you have to choose a model. So now when I'm talking about a model, it's basically a classification algorithm. You may have come across these classification algorithms like random forest, decision tree, logistic regression. These can be used here as well, but the data needs to be processed properly. And finally, the step 4 is train the model and evaluate the model. So basically, once you train the model with existing labeled data, and then you evaluate how the model is performing on an unseen data. So you train the model using some emails which are spam and some emails which are not spam. Then you test it out on an unseen email which is not fed into the model, which is not used in the training process. Then you see if it is able to identify it or not. That's how you can evaluate your model. That is step 4. So it's like teaching your computer, teaching your model to be really good at understanding and sorting the text. Now let's understand the process in detail with a little bit of technical terms. So the first step, like we said, is data collection. You have to gather labeled text data for training and testing the model. By labeled, I mean the categories in which you have to classify it, like spam, not spam, positive, negative, angry, happy. These kind of categories, you already need those categories to be present in a set of data which you're going to be used to train the model. If you train the model properly, then for a new set of data, for a new set of customer reviews, for a new set of emails, it will be properly able to identify what it is. It will be properly able to classify it into spam or not spam or something else. Now, next step is text pre-processing, which is cleaning and preparing the text data by tokenization, removing stop words, stemming, and few other steps. So there are sentences in a text. You have to break those into some tokens, and you can break those in single words, multiple words, phrases of different sizes. It depends on you how you want to process it. Then there are stop words, which are very common across multiple texts, and they just create a lot of confusion to the model. So there are words like am, is, are, the prepositions. It's common to spam emails and also common to non-spam emails. They are basically not helping the model in identifying anything. They're not making any difference. That's why they are called stop words. So we can remove them to reduce the amount of confusion. The next step is feature extraction. This is very important because these are text data, and we cannot pass the text data into the mathematical model as it is. You have to convert it to a number. That's why the converting of text data into numerical features comes in. So a sentence would be converted to a vector of numbers. This is that step. How you convert your text into numbers is very important because there are multiple ways to do it, and you have to choose it how to do it. So there are techniques like bag of words, there are techniques like TF-IDF, or there is word embedding, so many advanced techniques, and you have to choose which one to use. So these are some of the methods which can be used to convert text into numbers before you build the model. The next step is model building. So now that you have the data ready, instead of text, you have numbers now. Then you have to train a classification model using different algorithms. You can choose your algorithm. You can use naive Bayes, you can use support vector machine or neural networks or any other algorithm. Train the model with the label data. After you have trained the model, then you have to assess the model's performance using different metrics like accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, depends on your data. So it will be a classification model. If your data is balanced, means you have almost equal number of spam and not spam emails, then you can use accuracy. But if your data is not balanced, then you have to go for either precision or recall, or if you want to balance between two, you have to use F1 score. So that's how you have to do the model evaluation. Then the next step is model deployment. So once you are sure about your model, you know your model is accurate, it's going to be able to identify spam, not spam email very accurately, then you can deploy the model. So then you can use this model to classify new unseen text. Now let's see what all libraries you can use in Python for text classification. First one is NLTK. NLTK is a huge and rich library which has tools, resources, data, everything for text processing tasks. Then there is scikit-learn. This offers a wide range of algorithms. It has machine learning functions. It includes text classification as well. Then there is TensorFlow, of course, which is used for building or training deep learning models for text classification. And of course, there could be challenges. Sometimes the model might get confused, especially if the text is ambiguous. For example, if there is sarcasm in the review, it probably won't be able to understand it. So there are things like that in which there could be a possibility that the data is actually, an email is actually not spam, but it is tagged as spam. Things like that. you can fine tune your models to handle these situations better. So once you come across these cases, you would know how to fine tune your model and enable it to handle these things. So to make your text classification journey smoother, here are some quick tips. First, you should start with a simple model and then gradually explore more complex ones. The second thing is, make sure you have a good amount of diverse training data. And the third is, always evaluate your model's performance and make adjustments as needed. In the first step itself, you may not get the best accuracy. So make sure you're fine-tuning your model and adjusting by looking at the edge cases. So you always evaluate your model's performance and then make adjustments as needed. That's all. So there you have it, a simple guide to text classification. I hope this video made this topic a bit less mysterious for you. If you have any questions or topics you would like me to cover in future videos, drop them in the comment box below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more easy to understand tech content. Until next time, happy coding.